Welcome to musicmoveit.com, and today we're going to discuss what major record labels are looking to sign these days. Major record labels, they're still a huge powerhouse into releasing music. Now, obviously, getting a major deal can be hard. Some people are lucky, and it was easier for them than others. It happened quicker, but for the most part, it's hard. It's like hitting the lottery almost. I've discussed this, in other videos that, when you get a powerhouse up under you, like a major label, these days, you got to make sure you get a fair contract. Make sure you get publishing, all that good stuff, because these days with the internet and streaming and music downloads and all that stuff, it's much easier to invest in yourself and just do it independently. So I'm not saying major record labels are bad, as long as you get a good contract that you're comfortable with. And, just remember, it's like a bank loan when dealing with them, and they want their money back eventually. So just get good lawyers and make sure it's a fair contract and you're getting what you feel you're worth. So anyway, now back in the days, labels, they would develop artists more than they do these days. So that means they might find like raw talent. You always hear the story of someone was discovered in a bar, stuff like that, and they would take this raw talent and they would basically kind of school them. They would make them go to classes on how to do interviews, how to speak, how to do this and that, how to handle these affairs, and they'd put a whole team under them and they'd shape this artist, put writers with them, put producers with them, and the artist would just basically like a puppet almost, in a sense. And they got shitty deals a lot, contract-wise. But they developed these artists for years, sometimes, before they released them. Then, once, music downloading started happening and there were more indie artists making money, record labels felt like they were losing money. So they didn't want to put all this money into developing an artist, because developing an artist, you're throwing a lot of money out there to get this team together to shape this artist to be a multi-platinum act that sells millions of records. But since the indie scene is huge now and indie artists can make great money just on their own, labels do not want to put money into development. So, of course, these days they're looking for artists and bands that have their shit together, basically, that understand business, basically. Like, they want someone who is pretty well polished, who's been doing it, who has a loyal fan base, and they have the numbers to prove it. They have the fans to prove it. Because think about it like this. The proof they want, numbers isn't everything. Think about all the artists and bands that are just hype and they buy YouTube views. And an A&R at a label looks at these, wow, his video has 2 million views. But there's only 1,000 comments or something, things just don't always look right when you do it like that. They want true fan and artist or band loyalty. So if you have 2 million views on a video, a legit video with true fans, you're going to have tons more comments and likes than that. You know what I mean? So, fake numbers, you can figure it out when they're fake, for sure. Buying fake numbers will not always work for you. They want artists and bands that are doing it, that they started grassroots campaigns to build a loyal fan following. And in my other videos, you can get that fan following by staying interactive with the people online and by touring. Touring builds fans. And always promote your online presence, because you can do anything online these days. Promote anything, and instantly it gets to your fans. Instantly. You could put a post, I'm doing a show tonight, an unplanned show on such and such and such and such, and we're going to be in the building, and your fans can see it right away. And that's the beauty of it. You could interact with these people. Perfect. You could do contests. All in real time, people will see this, and it's just amazing how it can be done now. So if you're really looking to get signed, if you want that powerhouse, a lot of artists realize doing it independently is perfect for them. They can easily make a decent living, pulling in a couple $100,000 a year just being indie, or even more, or sometimes less, and they're still happy with it. I've seen indie artists make like $80,000 a year, which is very good for just doing music, and they're happy, they're fine, they're touring, they're doing their thing. So it's up to you. If you can really make good money being indie. And once you hit a certain point of being indie, the labels will notice, because you'll start charting on Billboard. They'll notice you being the opening act in different cities and shows. You'll show up on radio playlist of what's hot right now, and these A&Rs still look at that stuff, and they still look at YouTube as well. But you got to be legit. Don't buy fake stuff. Don't buy fake views. It's just, I don't know. You want to be legit. So that's what they're looking for, basically. They're looking for people who are doing it, and that's that. They want to see proof, though. So build your fan base. Start selling out shows. If you could get to where you're making money off shows, you don't have to sell tickets anymore. That's a hell of a thing. And if you just get money from performing, and you can bring fans to these venues, the labels will come calling for you. I guarantee it. Now, of course, like I always say, though, being indie isn't a bad thing. So keep that in mind. You could run your own business, which is your music career. And you can make good money doing it without a label. You just got to know everything about publishing and selling, records, and online this, and doing interviews, and you could hire your own team. I've talked about this before. So do what you feel is best for you, but that is what major labels are basically looking for these days. They don't want to really develop as much anymore. I've heard from different A&Rs that every once in a while, if they truly believe in a singer or a band or whatever, they will still take a chance for some development. And, they're not going to basically find someone in a club anymore who's a total unknown and just make them rise to stardom within 5 years. They don't want to throw that money out anymore, because a lot of these records, major labels, it's the major artists on these major labels that are making the money. They still put out a lot of records of other artists that they're trying to get big, but a lot of those lose money, especially maybe the first 2 albums out. It just depends, and either they drop them or they still kind of try to work with them and get them out there. So it just depends. They're still losing money on artists that just aren't selling as well. So they're trying to get these big name acts. They got to constantly find good people, because obviously everyone has their time. Like a big artist will do well for years and they'll still stay relevant, but they might not sell as much in 10 years. So labels have to continue looking for the next big thing that'll sustain that income. So anyway, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I got some cool videos and some cool ideas to bring to you in future videos, and please check out the links down below in the description section. There's some great links there. One of them is you could get 100 free spins at Jango Radio. If you set up a new account with them, they'll give you 100 free spins, and it's a great service. It's kind of like a Pandora type thing. Check that out. There's a link down there for that. If you're looking to get into some good reading and some more knowledge, there's some links to some great ebooks that are instant downloads below that you can go to the link and download them. It has to do with music publishing, learning how to release a record, and steps to do it, business plans, all that good stuff. And there's tons of stuff down there, so check it out. And I will hope to see you next video. Subscribe if you haven't, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you.